It's Wednesday, the 23rd of June. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony, and we will get to those news headlines in just a second. But first, let us pause to give thanks to the celebrities born unto this world on this day in history.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to former British monarch Edward VIII, who did what so many of us would like to do and quit his day job, to award-winning actress Frances McDormand, to singer Duffy, but far more importantly, today marks the birthday of the most gifted player to ever lace up a pair of football boots, Monsieur Zinedine Zidane. Many happy returns to each of them, but especially to Zizou. Remember this. Ironic that the final shot was the machine pointing downwards. That is, or should I say was, the Akula remote-controlled demolition robot from ES Manufacturing. We were actually the first demolition publication to bring this British-developed machine to the industry's attention. In fact, we covered it several times, both before and during the initial COVID-19 lockdown. I hadn't spoken to ES Manufacturing for some time, so I thought I'd check up on them. And sadly, according to the listing on Companies House, ES Manufacturing is now in administration. I know that Chris James, the driving force behind the development of the Akula range, had been in hospital a few times. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the company's demise. Not entirely sure what was ailing Chris at the time. But Chris, if you are watching this, please get in touch, even if it's only to let me know that you're fit and well. Was the Akula ever really a threat to the Brock demolition robot? Almost certainly not. I saw the machine in prototype form, and as I reported at the time, the quality of the machine left a bit to be desired. There also seemed to be a degree of reluctance to actually put the machine through its paces on a proper working site so that owners and operators could evaluate the machine for themselves, all of which is a terrible shame. It's never good to see a company fold. Well, hardly ever. And it's certainly never good to see a British manufacturer fold either. And competition is good. It's healthy. And while I don't suppose for one moment that the Brock bigwigs were losing any sleep over the Akula range, the arrival of a new competitor would surely have sharpened their focus just a little bit more. So whatever became of Chris James and ES Manufacturing, I wish them all well in the future.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
So yesterday afternoon, Komatsu officially drew back the curtain on its new K100 boom change system. Of course, regular viewers of this show will know that we revealed the boom system several weeks ago, but this time we actually got to hear the story behind it. If you'd like to catch the live stream that we did alongside the official Komatsu launch, you can do so on our Facebook page. We broadcast that 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, or 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon, so you can still catch that over on our Facebook page. Alternatively, if you check the description of today's show, you'll find a link to the brochure on the new system. It really is very, very good, and we'd urge you to go take a look. £3 million has been set aside to bring a pair of new industrial units to the Webb complex in Knowsley. The client is Red Sun Developments, and there are contractors absolutely queuing at the door for the new build portion of the works. But before the new build can proceed, an existing building needs to be removed from the site. And at the time of broadcast, a suitably competent demolition contractor has yet to be appointed. You can find out more about this project lead and countless more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. And speaking of the Builders Conference, I wanted to say a big thank you to Builders Conference CEO Neil Edwards, who at a moment's notice yesterday joined me on a live stream as we watched the HS2 Minister explain how companies could become involved in that mammoth rail project that is really boosting the UK construction industry at the moment. You can still see that live stream over on our Facebook page. And also congratulations to our friends over at Total Reclaims for being part of that HS2 event and perhaps more importantly, being part of the project itself.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
As you well know, this show is all about demolition, construction and construction equipment. So we really stray outside our comfort zone and into the field of mining. However, an announcement this morning is of such significance that we just couldn't let it go.
Mining has propelled advancements of our societies for centuries. With our access to Quebec's legendary clean hydropower, we've always envisioned developing our world-class deposit with a carbon-neutral footprint. But to produce the greenest battery materials, you need to push innovation to the next level.
We're proud to partner with a company that supports our vision and wants to help build a better world. Soon enough, the graphite extracted with this technology might actually power its battery pack. Today, the electric revolution is taking another step forward thanks to a fleet of zero-emission machines.
To cut a long story short, a Canadian graphite mine is seeking to operate with zero emissions, and it's looking to Caterpillar equipment to help achieve that lofty goal. As the guy said at the end of the video there, just think about that. We could have battery-powered Caterpillar machines producing the material to produce the batteries for the Caterpillar machines that will produce the battery material. The green revolution is here, people. And finally for today, and this is where I go off script, apparently it is Thank a Teacher Day. I didn't even know such a thing existed, but I'm going to tell you a very short tale. It's got nothing to do whatsoever with construction. It's more a personal thing, but here we go. So I was actually lucky enough to be able to thank the teacher that set me on the path to whatever the hell this is. I was called into a careers evening at the age of about 14, I think. And I was asked by a teacher what I wanted to do for a living. Now, one of my father's friends was an accountant, had a nice big house, had a holiday home, and he drove a Jaguar. That was good enough for me. So my answer, quite obviously, was I was going to be an accountant. My explanation was very simple. If you dealt with other people's money, you would make a lot of money. I was 14. What can I tell you? The careers teacher at the time, who was also my business studies teacher, listened intently. And at the end of it said, you shouldn't be an accountant. You should be a journalist. Hadn't even crossed my mind at that point. And her being an authority figure was quite clearly out of touch with reality. So I went off to pursue what I thought would be my career in accountancy. Good job working for a contract furnishing company when I was about 17 years old, straight out of college, in the accounts department, and absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. So a couple of job changes later, I find myself working my way through the publishing industry. I was finally offered a job as a junior reporter on the sadly now defunct magazine Contract Journal, which, as some of you will recall, was a construction magazine. So I'd been there about 6 months, writing about this, that, and the other within the construction industry. Came out of the office one afternoon, and there, stood at the bus stop, was the teacher that told me I was destined to become a teacher. So I seized the opportunity, and I went up to her, and I only knew her as Miss Elphick. So I said, "Miss Elphick, I don't suppose for one moment you remember me." And she looked me up and down and went, "Mark Anthony," which was impressive given the number of children she must have dealt with over the years. I said, "Yeah, Mark Anthony." I said, "I don't suppose you remember this, but at a careers evening some years ago, you told me that I was destined to become a journalist. Well, I've just come out of that building behind me there, where I now work as a journalist." At which point I kind of expected her to say, "Well, that's fantastic." And she looked at me, nodded, and just said, "Yeah," like that had been the plan all along, and I was just blissfully unaware of it. So there you are. That's how I came to be a journalist. Wasn't out of choice. It probably still isn't, truth be told, but that's how the transition happened. So Miss Elphick, I have a horrible feeling that Miss Elphick is probably no longer with us. If by some weird coincidence she actually is, thank you. You were absolutely right. I was completely wrong, not for the first time and certainly not for the last time. And that's how I come to be where I am today. And it all started with a very nice and very smart lady called Miss Elphick back in the late 70s. Yeah, late 70s. So there you are. Thank you, Miss Elphick, and thank you to all the other teachers out there, both at the school level, at college level, and at university level, but also here within the demolition and construction industry. The trainers within this industry do a fantastic and often thankless job. So thank you to all of those who share their knowledge as part of their job. Right, unless there's any further business, I will declare this show well and truly adjourned. No more live shows today. 3 in a day is way too many. So I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, on the morrow with another breakfast show. But until then, enjoy the sunshine, assuming you've got some. Stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.